Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about the new pity system that has been implemented for Dokkan Festival banners that was introduced with the Dokkan Festival exclusive Vegeta banner here. So what you guys can see on the screen is kind of like pretty straightforward with how this system works, right? After Dokkan, that doesn't matter, exchange 200 Dokkan Festival coin limited for him once only. So what is this new pity system? No, so for those of you who do not know, Dokkan has been a game that has not really been one that has had a pity system for a long time. Some of you might have joined during the 9th anniversary, some of you might have joined last year, and, you know, really a pity system is something that the game has not really flirted with for a very long time. And the way that this was introduced was during, I believe the first pity banner on JP was the LR Rebriand banner, and then the first pity banner for Global was a different one. I forget which one it was. It might have been Rebriand. I think it was Tree of Might Goku. I believe that was the first banner that had pity on it for Global, right? And the way that it worked was, you know, this kind of format here that we have. What this is 200 coins for the new unit. So if you are somebody that has, like, let's just say you have a Dokkan account fresh out of the box, you have 1,000 stones, right? It's going to take you 1,000 stones to get to those 200 coins because, you know, every multi is going to be giving you 10, and then, you know, you're doing multiples of 50 here. So to get to 20, you know, it's going to take to 20 multis, so 10 coins per multi. Boom, that's how it's going to work. So the way that they are trying to implement this is that, you know, you spend 1,000 stones and you get a copy of this character of Vegeta here. Now, why we're talking about this is because this is a unique one, right? Where we had last, during the Worldwide Download Celebration, the pity system was if you got up to 500 of the exclusive worldwide coin. It was like a red or a teal coin with like a sort of rainbow outline. What you could do with those coins is then exchange them for regular coins, or if you got up to 500, you could buy one of the 4 new LRs. Now, since this is a banner with one new release on it, technically being a Dokkan Festival, obviously Kui is there, but we cannot pity a copy of Kui if I'm not mistaken. So the way that this one is going to be working is if we do 1,000 stones or we get up to 200 coins on this banner, we can go over to the exchange shop and then we can look at our green coins and see if we want to either buy Vegeta or exchange them over to regular Dokkan Festival coins, right? So the way that that's going to work, like I said, we do 1,000 stones, and you, assuming you don't rainbow 1 SSR for coins, it's going to take us exactly 1,000 stones to get to a copy of this character. Now, this is unique because this has never been on a Dokkan Festival banner before. If you're excluding, well, this is definitely unique to Dokkan Fest because the worldwide format was, you know, 500 coins to get a copy of one character. So this is the first time that a Dokkan Festival exclusive has had the sort of privilege of having pity on it, right? So 1,000 coins, we get the character. Now, this is a major change going forward because in the producer's letter that introduced this, they said that this is going to be on non-major celebrations moving forward. So like Saiyan Day, Golden Week, Anniversary, Tanabata, right? The thank you celebration on Global. This is not going to exist. But for, like, if you just look at last year's releases, right? Like Android 21, Raditz, for example, right? Like non-major Dokkan Festival exclusives. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like this Turles, right? This version of Frieza, right? They would be there if they were like unique Dokkan Fest now, but this version of Vegeta would not be here because he was he would not have it because he was a Saiyan Day character. So I just kind of want to, like, that was kind of a long intro, but I want to break down what's good about this system and what's bad about this system, right? Because I think that there's some positives to this, but there's also a huge negative that I'm sure most of you know at this point. But if you don't, we will get into it. So let's go ahead and break down everything about this new pity system, and let's see what we think about it at the end. Okay, so the positives of this specific format for pity, right? One thing that we have to get out of the way is it's always going to be a good thing that we can get a guaranteed copy of the character, especially when the character is a favorite of an individual summoning on the banner, right? I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that like Vegeta from Namek, and this would be a pretty exciting release if you were just looking to collect the character, right? If you were somebody that, you know, decided, hey, I'm gonna buy stones and get this character, which I would highly, highly, highly advise that you do not. But either way, like say you are somebody that really wants this version of Vegeta, you are going to have like an easier access to him than you traditionally would if this was like a worldwide download LR, where if you wanted to get a copy from the pity system specifically, it would take you 2,500 stones compared to the 1,000, which in reality for a lot of players, like especially if you are an endgame player, there is a decent chance that in every couple, like at least in like every other multi, if not every multi, like your guaranteed SSR is going to be some junk that you already have rainbowed, and that is going to be an additional 3 coins, right? When I pitied a copy of the trio during worldwide, granted I did buy stones on my JP, but it did not take nearly 2,500 stones to get to pity because of all of the rainbowed characters that I have to SSR and just exchange those for 3 extra coins, right? So in reality, most of the time this is going to take you less than, 1,000 stones to reach. So that is good for the sake of collecting characters, getting the character that you want, or if you're somebody that is chasing a rainbow star, that 4th, you're usually only going to have to pull 4 copies because of the 5th copy going to pity, right? So that is something that is positive, right? Especially in a gacha game like this, having a light at the end of the tunnel is a good thing, because this game, like I said, has been basically going on almost 10 years of none of that, right? Where it's just, you're just going to keep summoning until you pull the character, right? Or if you're somebody that's going for the rainbow, right? You're going to have to just keep summoning until you obtain that 5th copy. And I'm sure some YouTubers you watch have gone through quite a bit of nightmare scenarios, right? From doing that situation, or from chasing it. So again, that light at the end of the tunnel being there is always nice. And another perk to this specific format is going to be the guaranteed featured multi. Now, as you guys can see, after performing 2 multi-summons, you are guaranteed to recruit 1 featured SSR character in the next summon up to 7 rounds. So, 7 rounds times 150, what is that, 1,050? I think that's, I think if I can math right. So, you are going to be getting basically 7 featured characters on the way up to pity, guaranteed. So that is good, right? Like the guaranteed featured multi, if you guys remember summoning during the 9th anniversary part 1, like that guaranteed featured multi, you might think it's a scam, when you pull a copy of Full Power Frieza there on the bottom, or on the bottom, the top right, if I could talk. But again, it does narrow the chances down of you, or increase the chances, right, of narrowing the pool of units that you could potentially pull on that guaranteed featured step, right? So that is definitely another positive as well. Being able to get guaranteed featured multis is always going to be good for value, but this is where the sort of negatives come into fruition here, right? Where this banner on paper just looks like an average DOKKANFEST banner, right? So you're thinking, oh, there's probably like another base Vegeta in here, there's probably Super Vegeta, right? And that in total is going to give us 7 featured. But then we open up the banner list, and then we've got Vegeta, who again, I don't recommend that you summon for. So that's 1, 2, 3 with this Vegeta, 4 with Android 21, who mysteriously, again, is... Android 21 just must not be that hype of a character for people, because I see hype for her all the time on Twitter, and, in a fan service sense as well, but when she returned on, when did she return? Was it Golden Week on Global? Like, she just wasn't even on the banner art for some reason, and again, she's newer than, like, every DOKKANFEST that we're about to look at, right? So... Again, like we have Android 21 here, so what is that? We're up to 4. We have Turles, we're up to 5. We have ROF Blue Goku, who literally no reason for him to be on this banner. There's no correlation. Like, the only correlation is that they fight Frieza, right? So that is putting us up to 6 featured units. We have Super Vegeta, that's putting us up to 7. We have Transforming Vegeta, that puts us up to 8. We have Namek Goku, which puts us up to 9. And then we have Full Power Frieza because he's super easy Aang, and that puts us up to 10. 10 featured units on a monthly Dokkan Festival exclusive banner, in which, it's not even like they're tossing LRs in here to dilute the pool, right? They're diluting the pool with garbage, right? This Transforming Vegeta is bad. This ROF Blue Goku is bad, right? If you want to go from a sense of like the hardest event in the game, you just want to narrow your mind down, like, okay, we're talking about the Gogeta and the Janemba fight. You're bad, 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 right? You could be good with the Super Easy A. But again, that's if you want to go from the narrow mind of just the hardest fight in the game. There's no usable units in there. Vegeta's probably the only one, right? Because Turles is unusable in events like that. So we find ourselves in a situation where we have 10 featured characters, and basically none of them are usable in difficult content, right? Like where you'd want to be testing out new characters that you pull. And we run into a situation where it's like, oh yeah, cool, you could pity, but the guaranteed featured characters or the guaranteed featured rounds, it's like, what if you spend 450 stones for 3 rounds because you just really want to try and get a copy of this Vegeta, and you walk away with an ROF Blue Goku, you walk away with a transforming Vegeta, and you walk away with Namek Goku? You're gonna feel like you got scammed, right? And all of it is just because they wanted to junk up the banner because there's pity, right? So again, there's positives, there's negatives to it, but again, it's tricky, right? I am happy that there's pity, but I think that we need to kind of dial it back a little bit. I think 10 featured is a little bit ridiculous, but again, at least we do have guaranteed featured steps and pity to kind of make up for this, right? If we were talking about like no pity, no guaranteed featured steps, and they just made this 10 featured for some reason, then we would actually have like a real problem. But thankfully, that was not the case in this specific scenario. But again, not the best, right? So final verdict here, I think having a pity system is good. But again, I think that there are obviously going to be flaws with it, and you know, such as almost everything when these games try to implement new mechanics, it's always going to be like we could poke holes in it, and eventually, hopefully, we come to the proper conclusion for it, right? Where, you know, 2,500 stones for pity on the worldwide banners was probably a little bit too much for most players, myself included. Really, I mean, I managed to get there, but it wasn't free. And then with this, it's like 1,000 stones. I think is a good number. But it's also coming at the price of the banner being horrendous, right? So there you have it, breaking down the new pity system, how you get the new character, the way the banner works. This is going to be the format for Dokkan Festival banners, I would assume, moving forward. Maybe the featured unit list changes, but probably not, where, you know, it's an eye for an eye. You want pity? All right, we're going to make the banner more junky, right? So let me know down below what you guys think of the new pity system and all of that fun stuff in the comment section below. Again, please don't summon on this banner. Anniversary is way too close now. We're 3 months away, and there's no reason for you to be spending your hard-earned stones that you're saving for anniversary characters on this Vegeta. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.